irony of it all is that you'll find in the Gospel of John, for example, passages like John 17:3, where it explicitly mentions that the Father is the only true God. Explicitly mentions this. And this was such a thorn in the side of the church fathers that Augustine, a major church father who died 430 AD and who wrote an exegesis on John, do you know what he said? He rearranged the words of John chapter 17 verse 3. He changed the word order so as to make Jesus and the Father the true gods. This is how severe it was. When you find Mark chapter 12 verse 29, the Jew came to Jesus asking how to be saved. And what did Jesus say? Did Jesus say, and Mark, by the way, is the most ancient manuscript of all of the Gospels, most ancient Gospels. What did Jesus say? Did he say, you have to believe in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit as co-equal, co-eternal, independent beings? He said no. He referred him to the Shema, chapter 6, verse 4 of Deuteronomy. That's what he referred him to. He didn't tell him, believe me as God, or believe the Holy Spirit is God, or all these things, no. So you see, really and truly, the question is, where do people, Christians today, where do they get their information on the Trinity? You'll find that in Matthew chapter 28 verse 19, it talks about, it's called the baptismal formula, where the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit is mentioned. Go in the way, baptize in the way of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And so Christians use this as to prove, okay, the Trinity is in the Bible now. They use this to say, look, the Trinity is in the Bible now. But why don't they look at Luke chapter 9 verse 26? Because Luke chapter 9 verse 26 has a different triadic formula, where there's the Father, the Son, and the holy angels. Yes, the holy angels, not the Holy Spirit. So why don't we infer a Trinity from this? This is the question. Now, we've had these debates before, and they've been done before. And it's usually, okay, we'll get a vague verse here, an ambiguous verse here, and we'll start talking about these things. But here's an interesting question now. How did the earliest generations of Christians interpret the New Testament corpus? You have church fathers who are the most learned men of Christendom. People like Clement of Rome, Polycarp, Origen. People like those individuals. None of those church fathers for the first 300 years, listen to what I'm saying, none of those church fathers for the first 300 years of church history inferred a Nicene Trinity from this. Can you imagine? 300 years.
10 minutes
Even Tertullian, who died 240 AD. Tertullian, who dubbed or coined the term Trinitas, which was later translated into Trinity. He was a subordinationist. He believed the hierarchy within the different persons of the Godhead. The interesting point here is you have someone like Hilopolis. He was taught by Irenaeus, massive church father. Justin Martyr, massive church father. He taught Origen of Alexandria, massive church father. And he writes in his book Against the Heresies in chapter 22. What does he write? He talks about this group called the Ebionites, who were around 70 AD, 40 years after the disappearance of Jesus. And they believed that Jesus was not God, that he was a prophet, and that he was the Messiah. There were other groups like the Monarchianists who believed the non-divinity of Jesus. It wasn't just the Ebionites. Some Monarchianists also believed that Jesus was not divine in the way that Trinitarians make it out to be. No one spoke about the Holy Spirit being God, co-equal and co-eternal and independent with the Father and the Son in the first 300 years. That discussion is completely gone. So this is quite interesting, ladies and gentlemen. You know why? Because you could say from this that where the Islamic position of the non-divinity of Jesus and the non-divinity of the Holy Spirit was represented in the early church, the Nicene Trinitarian position was not. Wait, say that one more time. He wants to hear it. Okay. Where the Islamic position of the non-divinity of Jesus Christ was present, and the non-divinity of the Holy Spirit was present in early Christian church history, the Nicene Trinitarian understanding of the post-Constantinople Creed was not. Prove me wrong. David, prove me wrong. Give me one person for the first 300 years of church history that detailed co-equal, co-eternal, independent Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Give me. Silence me. Prove me wrong. I want to be proven wrong today. I want to be proven wrong today. Silence me. Tell me one church father for the first 300 years of church history that said the Holy Spirit was co-equal, co-eternal, independent with the Father and the Son. Please give me the records. It's a historical investigation. Just give me one. I will be quiet. I will apologize. I will apologize in front of everyone. I will apologize in front of everyone. Yes.